What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Eli Rogers, and I'm back with one of the most legendary and most iconic music artists and music moguls in the past decade. I am here with the homie Chad Focus, right? 6-time top 100 Billboard charting. I apologize, Chad. You see the overlay down there is messed up.
Let's get it.
Can you tell me or tell the audience a little bit about yourself and where you're from, how you got interested in creating music?
Hey man, look, bro. First of all, man, we from Baltimore, Maryland, man. Born and raised, bro. Extremely blessed. Like I tell a lot of guys, man, we just lucky to be here, bro. I'm excited because, I seen an opportunity, man, to come into the music industry, bro. I found kind of like a loophole, man. We in this space now, bro, where streaming and digital dominates the world. I wasn't, at the age, man, and the older industry, bro, back in the day when it was CDs and vinyls and, all the
analog era
stuff. Yeah, that our parents were used to, man. It was dominated by physical space. I'm a guy, man, and like I said, bro, this new world, bro, is my space, man. Social media, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music. For one, bro, I love it all, man. I'm really intrigued, bro, based off of the databases, how they collect these intellectual properties, these digital assets. So I look more so as like the business side of it. Of course, I enjoy music, man. Of course, I enjoy the art form. But
so some of that marketing background and that digital experience you had was able to really propel your music career.
Oh, 100%, bro. It's like, for me, man, I was looking at the industry, bro, and it's so diluted, bro, and it's so oversaturated, right? So one, how does a guy from Baltimore, man, get any traction in this industry? Also, bro, what do the resources look like? The mentors look like? Those answers were not like, it wasn't easy to find. So I spent a lot of time, going through my resources, man. I spent a lot of finances traveling the world. For those people that know my story, man, and people that don't know my story, I started off, bro, in 2016, trying to figure out publishing, masters, how contracts work.
So the foundation, like the paperwork behind the music business.
Exactly. And me and a couple of my cousins, bro, these guys been into the music for a long time. So I got these guys a part of my record label, the Cedo G, Flames, also Troy's. These guys are all artists, man. We from Baltimore. So we went out to California, bro, and that's where I met up with Olivia Harris. He was in the publishing world. Then I met up with a Troy Marshall. Troy Marshall was a big radio guy out in Cali. He helped break records by Drum, Broccoli. He helped break DJ Mustard and YG records. And so this guy gave me the game, man, just explaining to me basically how the industry was based off of advertising, programming, and access. And the guys that put together the best product, they're going to get the visibility, they're going to get the opportunities. And those who don't have the resources or the knowledge, they kind of going to be spinning their wheels. So for me, Eli was all about, bro, having access to the information, then executing a plan, bro. That's where I come up with this rule, man, is 90-10. Meaning you better put 90% of your money into the marketing, 10% into the production. I noticed 99% of the artists, man, is putting 99% of the money into the production. Less than 1% into the marketing, bro.
And so obviously it certainly helped that you had all the marketing information and that you really sought out that knowledge, right? Because like you said, a lot of people don't have that information. Now, if you don't mind me asking, right, because of the fact that I know that marketing has really propelled, but it also got you in a little bit of trouble, which is also I want to talk about, because from talking to you, man, you're a really good dude. Like my best friend growing up, he just got out of the joint for serving 8 years. He was shooting boy, selling boy, kicking doors in. So even though that your story blew up all over the world and the internet, it was fucked up. So can you tell us a little bit before we get into the music? Tell us about what that was like, being so intelligent, being a marketer from Maryland, and how you got into the cahoots with the financial firm, and what happened from there.
All right, so Eli, you just see my story, man. I'm on a program called Black Market, man. This is one of Vice TV's #1 programs, man. It's a docuseries. Kind of explains people that gotta be a part of some underground markets, right? And so my background, guys, I worked as the search engine optimization or the SEO manager for what's now a $1 billion firm, man, Agora Publishing, Agora Financial.
And then just
Yep.
Just, I don't mean to cut you off, but
No,
search engine optimization is where you can rank higher, like in the Google search results, right?
big facts, big facts. So
Okay.
search engine optimization is a skill set to give yourself more visibility in search engine. Basically, it's two ways this works, man. You got paid advertising where you can show up and it says ad. This is for any keyword, guys. You're paying per click or you're paying per impression. The space that I dominate, guys, was more of an organic standpoint. That means when you type a keyword in, you see those listings. I was able to maintain the positions for these websites. And very expensive keywords, very expensive what you call auctions for traffic. All right, guys. So anything that you see on the search engine, anything that you see on Google, Yahoo, or Bing, it pays to be in those positions. It pays to get those customers and those clients to see your offers. So I'm the guy.
An example, if you don't mind me asking, so example, just to help clarify. So like, let's say if I typed in hip hop on Google, we'd have World Star, we'd have Revolt, and, you know, different big brands like that. But you actually know where, hey, I can make it where when somebody types in hip hop in Google, Chad Focus is going to be the first person to pop up.
100%.
Right? That's kind of, okay.
100%. And it takes, like I said, it takes certain engineering, it takes certain metrics, and they have different, what we call ranking factors, right? So these are different, how I can say it, different metrics that you got to meet in the SEO world, guys, called votes. So we got something called backlinks. It's almost like a competition, man. The website that has the most votes, the most clout, is the one that's going to show up to the top. Usually it's a huge brand, right? So your MSNs, your MSNBCs, your CNNs, those are the type of companies that show up, your Wikipedias. All right, guys like me and Eli, we have what you would call mom and pop companies, right? We're independent. For us to show up on the top spaces of the search engine is like groundbreaking. It can literally turn your company from a non-known company, man, to a household name. So Google's like one of the top cosigns in the world, right? You're showing up for Google for certain keywords and certain products. You're literally probably going to be a millionaire overnight.
And if you don't mind me chiming, I want to talk about exactly, you know, going back to the limited resources. Because of the fact that we are the mom and pop shops, we don't have billions and millions of dollars to be able to do that, to advertise, to get up there. So how do we beat the competition? And that's exactly what you figured out. Yeah. Now, based on those expertise, at what age were you, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it was a financial firm, correct?
Facts. Yeah, so this is April 2011, Eli. So I was 23 years old, man. I started working for Agora Financial, man. Straight out of college, probably about 2 years, bro. I had picked up the skill set, like I said, of the SEO. And for what I did, bro, was based off of like softwares, man, and automation, bro. So what you see nowadays, bro, I was into that 2009, 10, 11, man. This new AI world that you guys see, I was on the early cusp of it.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So that was able to help propel you to get in that position. Now, I want to talk about a little bit about what happened at that company, right? Because they made it seem like, oh, Chad is a bad guy, right? Yeah. But that's not the case at all. There's a lot of time where you start swimming with sharks as a younger man and you find out what's what. So if you could tell us a little bit about what happened that got you incarcerated.
All right, so look, man. Like I said, I was one of the only guys that was. First of all, I was the youngest guy at the company. All right, so don't get it twisted. I was, extremely impressionable, man. I was young. I was coming out of college. I was hungry, ambitious, and then I was also the only young black dude, man. So when I joined the company, my job was to basically go and find the intel, one around the industry for this company, and I also built systems that were what we would call, man, black hat. All right. So a black hat system, guys, in the internet world is shit that most people don't talk about. It's a way to kind of find a loophole. It's not illegal, but it is.
But it's unethical, as they quote, right?
As you say, right? So what Google has, man, even what you guys see with Spotify and these different platforms is they put together terminology that says they don't want you to game the algorithm, whether that be spam, automation, whether there's a way that you can purchase your placements or visibility. Now they do it. They don't want you to do it. And so while I was working at Agora, I was the guy who basically put these contracts in my name. I was the one who purchased the software with the company funds. I was the one that went and did what you call a trial and error. So whether it was billboards, guys, or marketing campaigns, email swaps, link buys, I did any and everything for these guys, right? And I had my own Amex account. And if you guys remember, like I tell people this analogy, the Wolf of Wall Street, you see when Leonardo DiCaprio comes in there, he's with Matthew McConaughey. His first day at the job, man, they snorting coke, man, and they out here running game with the penny stocks. My
That's kind of
introduction to
like the people that you were working for, though, right?
those are exactly
Yeah.
the people I was working with. My first conference guys, like, you know, I'm with the CEO and the marketing director, and they getting fucked up. We at the strip club, we spending a lot of money. And what I realized, man, is that the rules were different for the guys at the top of the company. All right. So for 8 years, man, we spent an insane amount of money, but we made also an insane amount of money. So, you know, the rules were great for us, right? And so people see my charge. They like, this young guy got caught with embezzlement of millions of dollars. Basically what I did, guys, is that I spent millions and millions of dollars through my own personal accounts for this company. I was basically there for a guy. And because I was young, I didn't understand what kind of what we would call footprint I was leaving for myself, right? So with all of
Right.
these accounts in my name, with all these advertising, buying billboards, doing advertising costs, anytime that I wanted to leave the company, guys, I was going to be dealt with, some type of legal issue, right? So I signed non-competes, guys. That means I can't go work with other companies. I signed non-disclosures. That means I couldn't give information. And then I also signed what you know was a lifetime contract, guys. So I basically was supposed to stay connected, associated, employed with this company for life. My 7th year, I became more popular with the Chad Focus brand. By my 8th year, guys, with the company, I wanted to move with Focus Music Entertainment more permanently, 100%. And that's when I started experiencing my legal issues.
Now, once you that contract is over with, though, correct? Now that you went through all that you went through, you're not tied to them anymore, correct?
Yeah. It's a wrap.
So that's, I mean, so it's kind of almost like a blessing in disguise, because now you're a free agent again, and you're able to really build what you built for them, but to be able to build it for yourself in the music industry.
I'm building it independently, and what I'll say is that the systems that I built for Agora, they still benefit from today. Will I say this? I'm not excited about the fact that I had to leave my family and go sit down in a federal prison. But it's almost the way that you look at some of these gangs, right? It's like blood in, blood out. These guys were not going to let somebody that knew as much as I did, that was as important and as valuable to the company, just walk away free of charge. It wasn't going to happen like that. And what also happened is that these guys got caught up into a nasty FTC case, guys. The Federal Trade Commission were investigating the products that we were selling, right? And I wasn't a part of that space, guys. I was part of the marketing space. For the guys that were in the fulfillment space, man, they're selling Ponzi scheme products, man. They got caught up with the FTC case for selling fake diabetes cures to seniors, making people spend thousands and thousands of dollars on investments that really weren't true, putting together testimonials that weren't real. And in the digital investment space, guys, or in the digital marketing space, it's a thin line between what you're seeing is real and what you're seeing is inflated and phony. All right. And I've been a part of helping huge companies inflate their metrics, what you call it, fake it till you make it. And then now we see, like I said, the industry is more so fake like somebody's extremely popular until they're really popular. So now you can see how both industries correlate. I'm what you call an inflation genius, guys. I can make a brand, I can make a person, I can make a company, I can make a product more popular than it really is until it's actually successful, and then it has legs of its own.
Yeah. And I want to talk about that a little bit, because obviously not only has that helped you propel your career, but a lot of independent artists don't really know that side of the industry. So basically what you're saying is, hey, there may be a time where somebody may sign a major level contract, right? But then they come to you for the marketing.
Facts.
Right? And the artist actually believes, they're convicted that all of it is real, but they don't know that it might not be.
I'll say this, more than anything, it's a don't ask, don't tell, right? So even the industry I was in the financial industry, guys, the copywriters and the publishers that I'm working with, they just want to believe the product that they put together, the copy that they wrote, the article that they wrote was just that amazing that so many people gravitated towards it, right? They want to believe for their own confidence that what they're creating as far as their art and their product is just that amazing that people just come from anywhere. They really believe that if you build, people will come. I'm not that ignorant, right? I'm not that clueless or naive. I'm a marketer. So for me, I've created amazing products. I've created mediocre products. The fact is that I have a supreme skill set to market. When you know how to market, you'll always have an audience, whether the product is good or bad. So what you see in the industry, guys, is you're looking at a bunch of artists, some of them mediocre, some of them extremely average, but these guys have what we call popularity. And you can sell popularity and figure out the product on the back end versus somebody that's extremely talented that has no audience. So that's what the industry has become. It's become a popularity contest, and they'll figure out the talent, they'll figure out the product on the back end.
Yeah, well, because so as far as like ego goes, Artists have this thing where they're like, oh, it can't be bots, or it can't be this, or it can't be that. I don't want to do that. But I honestly feel like that, when some of them transition to the major level, they don't know that's what they're getting anyway.
I guess.
So here,
but you gotta understand, Eli. That's why the label is what the label is, right? They call it the machine. So when you sign up to the machine, you just know that you're getting marketing, right? So think about some of the legacy artists that leave the labels and they're like, I don't got the machine behind me. I'm not on radio. I'm not on TV. Those things are all purchased, bro, as advertising and partnerships, right? So don't just think about this as like automation and bots. Visibility is manufactured through budgets, right? So as an artist signs an advance, and advances, I want to give you money that counts towards your royalties in the future. Now, it might count towards 8% of your royalties. It might count towards 100% of your royalties. Like artists get various deals based
they
off
get
of
bad deals, yeah.
So you're not on radio, guys, just for free. You're not on TV. You're not on bus stations. You're not on tennis shoes, Taco Bell, Nike deals. None of that works without a budget. Not only do you have to have a budget, you have to have the connections. So the major labels have access to the funding. They have the track record to go to the bank and to acquire funds based off of their potential, their catalog, their projections. And then they also have the resources to get you on the radio, to get you on TV, to get you in this magazine and that magazine. Now, what I offered to the community as an independent is I've done that myself. I've built those relationships independently. So I'm going directly to the actual business, right? So if you're with Atlantic Records and they charge you $10,000 to get on Double XL, you can come rock with Chad Focus and I can get you on the same platform for $750. All right. Now, are you willing to independently put together your own budget and to manufacture your own marketing and your own rollout strategies? Are you guys willing to put in that work? 90% of the time, the artists are not, one, willing to put in that type of work, and then two, to go out here and to accumulate the funding to invest into what they're doing. All right. So that's just the facts of it. Which
is something that you can help independent artists do as well, too. You guys, if you're watching this and you want to make a return on your music, reach out to Chad. If you don't have a budget, he can help you create one, right? And I think that's a really, really, really powerful thing to be able to do independently, because you are the only person I know walking around as like a major label power as one person, right? Usually they have 50 people in the office, right? And they all work together to create this common goal. But because of your know-how, you've been able to do it independently, but not just do it, but do it really successful.
But you know, Eli, like I said, bro, 2011, we're coming from an industry where automation started to eliminate certain processes, right? So I was in the financial news industry, guys, where we had what we call editor rooms and copywriters. And these guys spent all day long writing and editing content that went onto our websites, our blogs, all right? Nowadays, guys, you have Chat GPT, where you can eliminate an entire department of people that work. You can, one, get the content done faster, done better, all right, reference correctly, edit it without no mistakes, no grammatical errors, and you can get this done, guys, for free. So do you think that you want to pay a department salaries, or people that, one, get tired, or people that get frustrated, or people that, one, do their job based off of how they're compensated, right? So this is what people that have been able to master technology, master automation, they've basically taken over the system. I'm a guy that has been doing this at a high clip in 2 different industries, but both of them are based off of publishing. Both of them are based off of intellectual properties, guys. We get paid based off of the people that see our content and that buy into what we're doing. Whether it's the music industry, whether it's the search engines, whether you're doing this in social media, the concept remains the same. All right. Can you get eyeballs to what you're selling, and can you get in front of your target market? And guys like myself, guys like Eli, we understand the concept. I'm just extremely blessed to have the track record and both the trial and error, and have done really well.
Facts. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to catch up to you.
You're on your way, man.
Hey, that's where it starts. I wanted to ask you, so during the time that you started, what was the record that you pushed? Where, when you got the funds and you really started going, because I was watching the documentary, bro. You were in New York, you were in Drop Top. I was just like, what, bro, is moving?
So look, I'll put it like this. My first record, guys, this is how it starts. I was on YouTube, Eli, this is 2010. And I used to do like the YouTube review videos, man. I was trying to figure out how to make money on YouTube. I wanted to be a YouTuber, right? I was using other artists' music, Lil Wayne, Soldier Boy, and I had this one Soldier Boy song, bro, and it kept getting flagged, right? And so that's when I started to see those things talking about the copyrights, and whatever record label he was with was having an automated flag that would come on my actual music video and it would remove the sound. So I'm like, hold up. That's when I started to research what publishing was and distribution. So I started to remix my own records, guys, from my YouTube videos that popular artists had done. And then I would start to do my own production. So I started to get my homeboys, guys, to create records that were 100% mine, 100% that I could publish and use for my YouTube content. So now I could create the content. Now I could have the music in the background. I could have the music at the front and the end, and I could create my own product, guys. And that's what it really came to. I was trying to be 100% in the own production of my content. I got into the industry. My first record, Eli, was called Get to the Money. Get to the Money was a record with my 3 artists, or also my 3 cousins. That's Cedo, Flames, and also Troyce. These guys were amazing artists, man. They have been doing
very
music
strong.
for 10 years, right? Yeah. And what I played is the role of the producer, guys, almost what you see as a DJ Khaled and a Puff Daddy, right? I just assembled the record, I financed the record, and I marketed the record. I got into the game, Eli, and I'm like, let me put this on World Star Hip Hop. Boom, 1 million streams. Let me go ahead and throw this on Instagram. I started using a couple different ways to get metrics. I got 1 million views on Instagram. Then I started using Spotify, guys. I'm at 1 million streams, right? 2 million streams. Next thing you know, guys, I done 6 million streams with a record that's not on radio, right? It's not in a club. It's really a mediocre record, but it's 100% I own it. And I'm the only artist in my city that's getting royalty checks. And I'm talking about big fucking checks. So for me, I'm looking at the guys that's on the radio, the ones that we go to the strip club that's extremely popular, and none of these guys are making money from their music. And I'm like, hold up. I done figured out the industry. The industry isn't about all this popularity. Isn't about this fame. It's about, yo, who cashing those checks. So I figured out with that Get to the Money record that wasn't on these main platforms and that wasn't in the hands of the DJs and that wasn't industry. Oh, shit, bro, I'm making money. I done got this record created, Eli, for $1,000. And I done made 30 grand. Oh, it's a wrap. So this is what we doing.
That's amazing.
It's go time, Eli. And guess what? I don't have to worry about going certain places. I don't have to worry about, yo, having security, carrying a gun, having a strap. Like, I'm a dude that played basketball my entire life. Me and you had this conversation. You see the jersey in the background. I'm a hooper, man. I'm 6'5", I'm 250. I like my lifestyle, right? I like to be jeweled up, bro. I like to have my money. And I don't need all the notoriety that a hip-hop artist deals with without the financial infrastructure that comes behind it, bro. I'd rather turn $1 into $30 each and every day without people knowing my song on the radio. Me and my homeboys can listen to that shit in the car. You get what I'm saying? Me and the girls I deal with can fuck with Chad Focus music. It's not something that everybody needs to rock with. So I'm not hurt, intimidated, but my feelings don't hurt if you don't rock with my music, like it or not. It's not what it's about for me, guys. It's about, have I figured out the business? Have I made this make sense economically? Can I take care of my family with my artwork? And am I actually free? Do I have my ownership? And those are the things that meant the most to me.
Right. And the reality is respectfully, because I watched the Brandman Sean interview, and can you give me just a little bit of a ballpark of a streaming estimate how much you make in a month? Yeah.
So look, everybody, I mean, if you've seen the Brandman, like I said, or not, guys, shout out to the homies. So I got a big catalog, right? And so the catalog, as I say, look, I got 200 songs. All right. These are records that I own 100%. Focus Music Entertainment, LLC. All right. My PROs, BMI, guys, is how I register the records. All right. Because of what Spotify has created as sort of their own manual detection metric. They can call it fraud detection. I call it independent motherfuckers getting money and we got to stop you detection.
Right. Because they don't do that to the majors, do they?
Bro, we can get into it. So basically, independent artist, guys, can do 3,000 streams or less per day. How do I know, guys? Because I've been flagged before. I've had my own records removed. How did I get back into the position where I was making money with Spotify? Guys, you can re-upload what's called the metadata. That's your MP3. You can change the artist name. You can change a couple metrics. You can re-upload it with a different distribution. So if one distribution removes you guys, you go to another one. You change up some, terminology on the record. That's called the metadata. You re-upload it. So I've got 200 records, guys. I've got records that aren't just curated to Chad Focus. I approach the game as a music label, guys, as an independent fucking boss, as a music label. And I make 600,000 streams a day, 18 million streams a month, guys, depending on what Spotify is paying, whether it's 0.003 tenths of a penny or 0.004 tenths of a penny, it goes up and down. I'm able to secure 50,000, 60,000, sometimes $70,000 a month based off of the catalog. And what we're looking at, guys, is that the money that I'm spending to promote the record, it could be anywhere between 30 to 40 grand a month. I'm able to double up, right? I'm able to basically turn $1 into $2, guys. In a month of April, when I did those interviews, guys, we basically turned $4 into $6.50 throughout the course of that month. I've got one of the best net profit differentials in the industry. Everybody knows it. And I've had over 1,000 consultations. I got so many people that inbox me every day talking about how they're testing my methods. I got people that's going out here and buying other people's catalogs, whether they're using Royalty Exchange, Songvest. I got people that are building records now with major artists so that they can run the streaming platform numbers because they understand that the majors won't punish their own artists. And I got independent artists that are approaching the game now, like independent record label owners. So that's the biggest thing for me, Eli. Yo, guys, you are not an independent artist, right? You are an entrepreneur. You got to stop downplaying who the fuck you are. You got to look in the mirror and be like, yo, I'm an independent label. I've got to approach this like a quality control. I got to approach this like an Asylum Records. I got to approach this like an Empire. So that's what it is, guys. It's not Chad Focus, right? Look at me and you see Focus Music Entertainment, LLC.
Well, so even like, I know that you said, hey, man, I don't have any aspirations of getting fame. I'd rather just keep the money in my pocket. Well, basically, because of the fact that you've generated yourself so much revenue from your own systems, you can buy whatever the fuck you can. Fame is for sale, right? You can buy whatever.
What I'm gonna say is this, Eli. The goal wasn't fame, right? But I played the game. Don't get it twisted, bro. Like, let's put it like this, bro. As far as doing this industry shit, I'm from Baltimore, bro. I went and did the 92Q thing. That means that I went and did the promotion on your local radio, guys. I did the sponsorships, the events. If you guys know about Shoe Cities and the DTLRs, I went and I paid the promos. I went and did the basketball games, the celebrity games, the breast cancer tournaments. Like, my visibility in my community, there's bar none. If you see Chad Focus, you know my brand, you know my marketing, you know my face, you know my hat, clothes. Like,
the hat, for sure.
And doing this, Eli, I did this on a huge level. What I seen, bro, was the ceiling, which was, hold up. If I'm making all these moves and putting all these people on, I should be like the Jay-Z, the Puff Daddy, the Dr. Dre of Baltimore.
But you are essentially.
Essentially, I am on an independent level, but the gatekeepers who are a part of the system, they can't allow some guy that's independent that owns 100% to get all of the visibility and all of the traction. Then what we need the system for? So think about all the artists that got to go to the record station, guys, that got to do the freestyle on their radio stations and all this other BS just to get placement, all right? That got to go and sit in the club and spend all their money just to get a relationship. Nah, I'm going to put together my budget with a DJ pool, right? Whether it's your coalition DJs, your core DJs, your MP3 wax, your Digi wax, your Vertigos. This is game, guys. And I'm going to make sure that my record is getting played in all the top markets by the top DJs and also by the DJs that are media-based certified. So that means that when they play my record, I actually get spins that count towards Nielsen so I can actually—
And Billboard. Yes. Yep. And just so to clarify, because it used to be Nielsen and media-based, and now, from my understanding, they took a company called Luminate, right, which is media-based, and Nielsen, they've combined them together. So now you got to register one account instead of two.
So now you got to merge it, right? So it used to be you register your records with media base, you send an MP3 list, guys, over the media base, and then you had to send the same records over to Nielsen. The funny part is that I'm talking to artists, they don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about, Eli. So these guys aren't even putting themselves in position to chart, right? So they're not even registering their records, man, Trust and the Sound Exchange and your BMIs. They're not doing their copyrights and their contracts. So when you guys come and contact me, you can hit me up. I am Chad Arrington on Instagram. I wrote my own book, man. It's 200 pages. It's called The Independent Hustler's Guide, Getting Rich in the Industry. The majority of the book is about setting up your infrastructure and your foundation, making sure that, one, you're distributed correctly, guys, and that you're going to get at least 100% of 100% of whatever you do, right? If I'm making a penny, Eli, I want 100% of that penny, bro. Put in too much time, put in too much work. Before you even get to the place, man, of talking about marketing, guys, and talking about exposure, make sure that you've set up everything the correct way. Make sure that you get compensated.
It goes back to that foundation. And I've been really fortunate enough because I have a friend, her name is Gigi Miller, and she teaches that stuff as well too.
Okay.
But yeah, no, that's super important because there was a producer that I have, a good friend of mine, he also makes music. He had like 1,000 streams on one of his songs, but he was getting so much non-interactive streams and he didn't know it. As soon as he registered that song, not only was it able to count towards the billboard, but it was also able to actually show the plays. Like they wouldn't credit, they wouldn't credit the streams unless he had it registered properly. So
retroactive. They gave him retroactive credit.
Yep.
But you know, it's this thing about this too, Eli. We coming from a world where Audio Mac and Dat Piff. What's the company that just got shut down? Spinrilla, right? So
okay, yeah.
You're looking at people that have concentrated years and years and years of building audiences on these platforms, right? And a platform can be gone like that, right?
Like
overnight,
that.
right? Think about the early Napsters and MySpaces. So outside of a Chad focus, guys, I want you to focus on what Nipsey Hussle was doing, guys, and how he put together his systems and infrastructure and what he did with technology and the guys that he linked up with in the tech space, man. Study what Nip was doing. He had a young kid that helped build his store with the marathon, and they had a bunch of back end. Look at what is going on with the bundles, right? A lot of people are mad at what 6ix9ine was. All right, 6ix9ine was a bundles genius. Now look at what just happened with the brand new Travis Scott record. He did over half 250,000 sales and downloads and bundles and the other and physical. Like, the technology is the game. Can you maneuver? Can you master it? Look at what LaRussell has become right now out the West Coast, guys, from the Bay. LaRussell gives you all of his own infrastructure, his own merch, his own setup, his own back office, guys, his own delivery fulfillment service. He allows you to basically pay what you guys think he deserves. And then he's not dependent on the DSPs, right? He's not dependent on Spotify, Apple Music. You can go ahead and buy it directly from him. Send money directly to his PayPal. So for the artists that understand what's going on, don't depend on these platforms. They won't be around forever. Build your audience, man. Build your community. Right now, like I said, for me, it's Focus Music Entertainment, guys. It's Focus Music University. I got my own audience. I got my own students. I got my own customers, my own clients. I got people I speak with and consult with every day. If I go out here and schedule a webinar, I can guarantee 40, 50 people show up just like a live. I can monetize my audience anytime I want, guys. So if I want to do a consultation, if I'm selling promotion, if I'm selling billboards, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, I don't depend on Amazon. I don't depend on Instagram. I don't depend on Spotify.
Building that email list is really important, right? And the advertising sometimes that you'd have to spend just to reach your audience that already follow you, right? Like Facebook, when you go to make a post, they don't show it to everybody, which is kind of crazy. But what you're saying is, hey, get an email list so that every time you go to send out something, everybody that is following you or subscribed is going to see it.
Yeah. And you know what? I think right now, Instagram is probably going to show you probably about less than 7% of your actual following is going to see the content that you post, right? So if you want to get in front of your entire audience, guys, there's that boost button where if you want 100% of your audience to see your content, you would have to pay to actually get in front of the people that already follow you. If that's not monopolizing the game, bro, like I never seen it. It's too gangster.
Yeah. Well, then I also wanted to ask you about the real advertising, but by implementing a bot situation first. And what I mean by that is, let's say if I have a record, isn't it better to start out before we even start running advertising, get some bots to give it the illusion that it's bigger than it is, so that when you do spend your marketing dollars, people will be more receptive to what you're presenting to them? Would you say?
Like it's an exact formula though, Eli. So what I do on these consultation calls is put it like this, right? I just recently went viral. Look at the content that we have with Brandman Sean. So first of all, guys, the content that you're doing has to be top notch. It got to be something that's extremely dope. Don't get it twisted, right? We're delivering in that regard. After that, we do the ad. The reason why you do the ad is because now you're getting traction. All right, so that's a set process. Once you're getting traction, guys, I do influencer marketing. So I might find somebody like Eli, or I might find somebody like Mark Jacobs or Cedric the Entertainer or Martin Lawrence. Like, these are influencers. These guys have people that maintain their pages. I'll spend a budget to get my content reposted to their platforms. All right. So we got ad promo, guys, boost. We got influencer marketing. And then the third thing that I'm doing, guys, is I automate some bots. And that means that I already got motion, right? So now when I add additional views, additional shares, comments, likes, this shit looks realistic, right? It looks like it makes some sense. Where Chad Focus went wrong 6 years ago is that I got so frustrated with the process of giving and putting more money into these platforms that I said, fuck it, bro. I'm automating everything. Bro, I was automating likes, comments, views, live followers. It didn't matter to me because the goal was to game that algorithm. So I was playing a dangerous game, because if I'm not running a promotion on every piece of content, there's going to be days where I got 300,000 views and then days where I got 300 views. And it's just how it's going to go. So the inconsistencies, guys, in your promotion is what can get you shadow banned, right? And shadow ban can happen regardless of whether you're using automation tools or not, because Instagram wants the people that are the most active. They want the people that are providing the most content. And so if you look at what's happening, they were just compensating us for doing reels on their platform. Once everybody came over and gave them all this content, which now this is their intellectual property. We work for Instagram for free, guys. They stopped compensating us with the reels. Now it's back to badges. Now people can donate, right? So it's no piece of the pie for us. So what's
Taking
Twitter
100% of
doing?
the
Right?
ad revenue.
Look at Twitter now, Eli. Now Twitter is compensating their creators and giving them a percentage of the ad revenue. So somebody like Andrew Tate is like, yo, I made $20,000 last month reposting the same tweets I posted 2 months ago. So these platforms, bro, are in competition, bro, for engagement, for views, for us to drop content on their platforms. And
So you're saying
Twitter
incentivized, because you're saying that their platform is going to be bigger than what Instagram is, because once people realize, hey, Twitter pays me, Instagram doesn't, I'm going more to Twitter.
But it's a war because they keep going back and forth on how they're going to compensate their creators, bro. Like I said, Instagram was just doing it, right? And then everybody was talking about Twitter and they were losing employees. Now Twitter has the most users. So it's going to be a yin and a yang, right? Now for me and you, we probably got both platforms, all right? I'm a part of a platform now, guys, called Bigo Live. Bigo Live pays me $7 per person that downloads the actual fucking link.
Wow.
My affiliate link. Listen to what I'm saying to you, Eli.
Oh, I'm listening.
I get paid $7 every time somebody downloads, that clicks a link and downloads a free app off of Apple, iTunes Store, guys, or whatever. Like, this shit's different. So because they seen my value that I was bringing to YouTube, that I was bringing to Vice TV, that I was bringing to Instagram platforms, there's other startup companies that could utilize a Eli Rogers, that could utilize a Chad Focus coming and giving the game and coming and bringing their content to their platform. So that's the leverage we get. So just realize the work that you're doing, somebody's always watching, bro.
Yeah, that's a fact. I was actually just talking to my girl about that today. I said, what are the odds that a video with 200 views, because here's the thing is I hate to say this, man, but I don't know if I conjured you up by accident or what. A couple of months ago, there's a guy that I know is an artist. He's out of Chicago. His name's Ladarius.
Okay.
And he came to me and he said, hey, man, I'm streaming my own records. Here's the results financially and what the stream count is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that's bullshit. You can't do that bullshit.
Right.
And sure enough, he continued to show me the proof. So he made a believer out of me. And he was like, hey, man, I've actually learned it from Chad Focus. Now, I heard about you years ago, right, when all the hype became around the lawsuit or whatever, or the case. But nobody mentioned to me that you had the success that you did in the music streaming until after I talked to Ladarius. So I start going and viewing all your shit. And I'm like, this dude is fucking genius. You know what I mean? To be able to be as young as you are and to be able to have the insight that you have is dangerous.
Eli, you know what's crazy though, bro? If you said this is why the internet is a gift and a curse, right? So the first time that I did a video that should have really went viral to me was the This Is 50, right, with Punch. So me and Punch are talking, and I'm giving him the exact shit that me and you talking about. Like, this is why people are not stupid, but people get on my fucking nerves. Sometimes I hate the internet, right? They're like, what Chad's talking about doesn't work. I've said the same shit, guys, for the last 6 years consistently. Not I just popped up overnight. Consistently, I've said the same exact shit. I gave you the same exact game 5 years ago. I went on.
Yeah, because that interview is 5 years old. That was before you got locked, yeah?
Hell yeah, it's still on here. Think about it, right?
Yep.
You think I got on This Is 50, man, for free? You think This Is 50 just came to find Chad Focus? No, guys, I got a PR team, guys. Right? I was investing in exactly what it looks like for artists to go and get that kind of look, right? If I was with Atlantic, if I was with RCA, or if I was at Interscope, they would have paid for me to be on This Is 50. They'd have paid for me to be on Vlad TV, No Jumper. Instead, guys, I put myself on those platforms. I put myself on those Revolt TVs, the Sources, the fucking This Is 50, right? I paid to play, and I paid big boy status, right? So I put together a major record that was Dance With Me. I put together what I thought the industry would connect to. So I tried to play the game. Let me give you a dope hit record. Let me give you a nice producer that's on the record. Let me get you a dope fucking hook. Let me go ahead and do all the marketing. Let me go on This Is 50 and give the game. Spotify, Apple Music, this is what we're doing. This is how I make the money. I do my streaming setup, I reinvest, and then I come and I spend my money on my marketing. He was so bamboozled that he's like, yo, bro, that's what the labels do. Duh.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be sitting in front of you, bro, if I didn't figure out what they were doing. It's just you seeing a young guy that looks just like you. That's what's
Yep.
more shocking to the people, though. It's a young
Yeah.
black guy that's like, I done figured out this system, predominantly ran by, you know, older, white, affluent gentlemen. And I'm in this space, bro, and I'm talking about the marketing. I'm not coming on Eli's platform, man, and spit no hot 16. I got time for that shit, bro. That's not what
That's
it
right.
is. It's about, yo, me and Eli are going to give you guys the game. We're going to talk about some real shit, the infrastructure. And you a blessing because you went and did your homework, bro. So I'll do a platform. Like I told you, I see everything that's going on and people bring it to my inbox all day, every day. So I get a lot of different people that reach out, a lot of different people that I'm looking at, and I'm trying to filter who I will work with and who I rock with. And I can, if you haven't won, bro, already went and done your homework and your research. I'm not coming on your platform to give you the entire Chad Focus story. Let's talk about some real shit.
That would make it really hard for me to interview you.
Yeah. It'd be difficult, man. So what you seen with This Is 50, bro, Spotify, Apple Music, these guys built this actual system, guys. Like I said, I'm not the godfather of the bots. I'm a super saiyan of this shit. I'm the best that ever done it. But I seen what these guys were doing as far as a blueprint, guys, and I went and remixed it. The same resources and the access that major labels have, bro, I have as well. There's guys that work at Spotify. There's guys that work at Interscope. There's guys that work at YouTube who are not compensated the way they should be. And they come and they fuck with a Chad Focus.
Uh-oh. There you are. My bad. Yep. Yeah. My apologies.
Yep. So that's what it basically became for me. E. I got a lot of guys, like I said, man, that are in the industry, bro, that got access, they got the resources, and they look out for us, bro, and it's a blessing.
Yep. Yeah, you got to have those relationships, because that's the thing is, like, even once you do get the independent money and you do want to make those moves, having the major label services, as I would say, is super helpful. But I just think it's so much better when you can do that independent and you don't have to. But then it goes back to having that leverage, right? Not all deals are bad, but most of these artists that have the ambition to get signed by a major label don't have the leverage. So, and then I also wanted to ask you a little bit about college, because what college did you go to, and then did you major in marketing as well too?
I went to McDaniel College, guys. This is in Westminster, Maryland. It's about 30 minutes outside of Baltimore. We were in a conference, guys, with some top Division III schools in the world, man. That's Swarthmore, Haverford, Gettysburg, Johns Hopkins. So I could have went to Johns Hopkins and majored in computer engineering. I took my academics, man, very seriously in high school, right? So my mom was like, you 6'5", 215 pounds, you can dunk a basketball, but how many other guys that look just like you that's the same height can do the same thing? So my mom always emphasized for me, guys, to kind of like, prioritize that education, right? And that was my goal, right? So I went to school, man, and I majored in communications. So I did mass communications in high school, Eli, and I also did communications in college. So look at what me and you are doing right now, right? We two young guys that got our own setup, man. We basically can set up our own camera, our own iPods, our own infrastructures, our sound systems. Like, yo, bro, we understand how to be versatile as far as what we're doing on our own production. We're independent. Me and you've been probably doing this and interested in doing this as kids. Now this YouTube space allows us to do this independently, right? So we on StreamYard, we got our own platforms, we got Instagram. So this is who I always want to be.
Yeah, I am super grateful that the streaming platforms came out, because about 3 or 4 years when I first got into music, I mean, could you imagine like just printing CDs, and burning them one by one and then trying to sell them, and people are like, what the fuck is this? Right?
Yeah.
And then obviously, as I learned more that they had different, companies that would, label them for you, put graphics, poly wrap them. And that was real cool. But as soon as I figured that out, they switched to the streaming platforms. Yeah. And it was difficult. One thing that I'll admit is I didn't take my education very seriously. I thought like I was the next Kirk Heinrich or Steve Kerr. I was like, I can have a bad attitude. I'm dope at ball, and I don't give a fuck until they started benching my ass, right? They were like,
you know what? My thing that changed me, bro, is I got injured. So I tore my labrum, right? And I didn't break my shoulder. I didn't tear ACL. The injury to my labrum, bro, it was like the most devastating injury because I couldn't figure out why it was so painful. And, without that ligament, bro, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't like wash up. I couldn't work out. Like I was in pain for an entire summer.
Couldn't scratch your back.
Yeah. So getting injured is what humbled me. I was like, yo, bro, it could be over like that, right? And what we see right now, bro, is that we can create content, we can automate it, right? You know that I just had to go and serve a bid, right? I had to go to federal prison, guys. Do you know that Chad Focus made more money while I was in prison in 18 months than I did the first 4 years, right? So think about just being able to, one, accumulate opportunities in my inbox. Think about the royalties that I made from the music. Think about my Vice TV show coming out. Think about the websites, the products, the advertising that happens for me. Like, you guys talking about me doing automation, I was locked away. I couldn't automate anything. So the residual of what I went through, bro, created what we call organic, you know what I'm saying, production and organic royalties, organic financial opportunities. And it's a blessing, right? So me and Eli are really on this podcast, guys. This isn't like, you know, artificial intelligence. So what I tell people is that organic opportunities, man, can turn into tangible, realistic funding, financial, amazing relationships, you know, situationships, whatever you want to put it. And the best thing that happened to me, bro, was probably that Vice TV docuseries. I got to meet Michael K. Williams. We became good friends. And if you want to know what has become like the standard for what the industry really becomes, people contact me every day, inside and outside the music industry. And they like, yo, that Vice TV shit I seen, bro, that's Netflix worthy. That's probably one of the dopest, most transparent documentaries I've ever seen. And for a young guy like yourself to be the face of some shit like this and nobody's speaking of it and nobody can really explain it and articulate it like you can, for me, bro, I know that it's my purpose. I'm blessed, man. I'm super, super proud, both for, like I said, the negative and the positive. You asked me early on what it felt like to be on the CNNs and the Donkey the Days and go through the shit I went through. Bro, I'm a marketer. At the end of the day, all publicity is good publicity. I'm gonna figure it out. Only thing that hurt, bro, is like I said, your family, they have to deal with that. They're not all suited and built for this, right? And then you're looking at certain people that are your friends or that were associates and business partners. It just made my circle extremely, extremely small, right? And it helped me to see who was who, right? So if I didn't go through those trials and tribulations, I wouldn't know who really rocked with me, bro, during the dark periods and the good periods. And for me, bro, I got a clean house, I got a clean mind, a clean bill of health, bro, and I'm in a great space.
Amen. Hey, God is good, bro. God is good. And I don't, so because you've already been 146 minutes, chat, I don't want to take too much of your time. But before we get going, I do want to plug in some of your services. I know that you plugged your book. If you can give me that link so I can put that in the description, then as well as talk about the same thing that you've done for yourself, you can do for other artists as well. But obviously they got to pay.
Right? 100%, man. So look, I'll tell you like this, man. If you want any gain that Chad Focus is going to give, guys, like I said, that Vice TV episode, man, is Black Market Season 2. Episode 3, Rage Against the Machines, is Chad Focus, Michael K. Williams, and Greg Calley. Top-notch production. I have my ebook, guys, The Independent Hustler's Guide to doing this music shit, right, and doing it independently. You can get that, guys, with a consultation, man. I got the link in my bio. That's on my Instagram. If you want to come and learn from us, guys, we got Focus Music University. You sign up right now. We in a pre-sale. I take you guys through the entire A to Z of how the industry works. It's not just about how to do the streaming and the marketing. It's about your publishing, your masters, your ownership. If you guys want to do sync placements, like get your music on video games, TV shows, all types of different platforms, we teach you that, guys. You want to do branding. You want to come out here and use royalty exchanges, SongVest, like you want to buy other big artists' records, big major artists that are selling their catalog. We teach you guys how to do that. And I got good friends like Said from GMT. I got Chris Tyson. These guys will help you get funded. You know, if you guys need $25,000, 50 grand, 100 grand, $150,000, these guys will help you get a 700 to 800 credit score. You need to have your own LLCs. Like, we're going to take you guys through the A to Z on how to do this and do this independently. And if you guys want to go ahead and do the actual, you know, major label deal, don't think that I'm against it. I'm not anti like the label. What I am is anti you not having the leverage to negotiate with the label. So I want you to be able to go there and negotiate your terms. If you want to work with Empires or Interscopes, guys, I'm all for it. They got some great people that I associate with every day. I just want you guys to know that these major labels also keep Chad Focus fly with the jewels. They come to me, guys. They use our services, right? I got access to all the organic shit, guys. So if you need the promotions, you need the Spotify advertisements, you need the YouTube, the playlisting, we do all that. I'm just the guy that's letting you know that there is a dark side to the game. A lot of it has to do with streaming farms and automation. There's a technique and a way to do this the right way and the wrong way. Your favorite artists already got motion, so when they do it, guys, it's not as noticeable. You want to get this done the right way. You want to stay under the radar. You want to go Billboard. Whatever you want to do, guys, we can get it done. So that's what we pride ourselves on, Eli. We super versatile. We super duper tapped in, guys, resourceful, and you know we blessed, man.
Yeah, I don't want them to run off the platform and start trying to run up 1 million streams, go buy 50 iPhones today, and they're gonna get their shit fucked up.
Yeah. There you go.
So yeah,
But you know what? People do it all the time, right? And I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm inspired, guys, by people that are go-getters and hustlers and that are willing to take matters in their own hands. Just be careful. And I want you guys to have the right mindset, which is for me, when I got blackballed off of Spotify, it didn't hurt my feelings. I was like, okay, I'm a threat. How can I make this make sense? If I acquired a catalog of other major artists that are signed to record labels, which is legal and possible, then I can do the same systems, guys. Then I can go ahead and really be what you call a record label executive. Your
which is
favorite
even
artist.
less detectable. Yeah. So you're saying if you take like a Lil Uzi record or even Jaquan Tipsy's record and you get
Yeah.
part ownership of that, you'll start pumping up that John.
It doesn't matter. And the thing about it is think about it, right? These artists collaborate with other songwriters, composers, producers. Your favorite artists are not the ones that are creating the music by themselves, guys. So they have team, they have people that get points, they have collaborators. These guys also can liquidate their shares and portions of these actual, intellectual properties, these digital assets. All right. And that's what I try to teach you guys. Your Instagram platform, Eli, your Twitter platform is a digital asset, right? If you're an influencer, people have to pay you based off of the engagement that you represent on your platform to repost, to share content, right? So think about your Kim Kardashians, think about your Say Cheeses, your academics. Say Cheese gets paid $2,500 to repost a music video or acapella or a freestyle. DJ Academics gets paid $5,000 to co-sign and re-endorse an artist. So if you're looking at academics and he's reposting 20 times a day, 20 times 5, this kid is making $100 grand. He's making $3 million a month in advertising on a platform. So you guys got to think way bigger than what you're looking at. Think outside the box. Right now, to post on Chad Focus's platform on his Instagram is going to cost you $100 to $300. All right.
Which is
that's
very affordable for how much followers you have as well, too.
Think about it, bro. If I do that 100 times a month, bro, it's going to be tons and tons of money in my pocket, right? So we looking at a platform that right now, and I just came home from prison in March, Eli, I'm able to generate anywhere between $10,000 to $50,000 a month outside of the Spotify, outside of the streaming off of just consultations, memberships to my university, and I also sell packages and marketing promotions, and I teach people how to do this. So that's what I'm doing, guys. I done built my own audience. I got my own consultation business. You're going to watch me this year legally make $500,000 just using Instagram alone.
I'm sure you're already a millionaire already, right? Yeah. Well, I appreciate your time, bro. Because I'm obviously from Grand Rapids, and there is a lot of artists just like you, kind of like Baltimore, not as tough as Baltimore, right? But we don't have the same resources and the same money. And so I am very, very grateful. Not only did you take the time, but you gave as much information as you did. So if you guys are watching this and you need help with your career, which I know a lot of you do, please reach out to Chad. There's nothing better than having somebody that you know that for sure did it themselves, right? Is trustworthy and is real, right? Because you're super transparent. To even be on here, and if somebody's smart enough to even just listen to this interview, which some people are, they can take the shit that you gave them and they can go build it for themselves. So I appreciate you so much, man. Is there any last thoughts that you want to give out?
No, I just want to say, shout out to my guy Eli Rogers for doing his thing. Like I said, man, truly proud of you, bro, for what you're working on, man. Humble dude, you grinding as well. And for me, man, I support all of the creators, bro. For the guys like myself and you that's getting up on a Sunday and sacrificing one to be here in each other's presence. And we're not doing this just for ourselves. We didn't already had a conversation off, off the
bingo.
grid.
You already gave me all the games.
Yeah, so we right here doing it, bro, because we truly care about one, bro, influencing people and helping those folks. And like I said, I appreciate you. You talking about an artist that was telling you about a promotion that he thought was possible, and you were humble enough, bro, to be like, I don't think that's possible, but if you show me, then I'll consider it. And now we're here, bro. And if more people were open-minded, as we call it, we'd be so much further. And for me, Eli, I'm gonna see other young guys that look like me and you that come together, because we the kind of guys that bridge the gap. Young white dude, man, from Grand Rapids, a young black dude from Baltimore, we coming together and we building a foundation and relationship. This shit right here, bro, is the cure to all the hate and all the other crazy stuff they talking about in society,
man.
Bro. Me and Eli know each other a month ago, bro, and now we sitting here locked in on a Sunday, bro. This is the Lord's Day, and like I said, bro, I truly appreciate you, and it's a blessing, man, because this bigger than streaming and making money. This right here is we meet one day and our kids get to function with each other. Me and you come and tap together and play ball. So I want you guys to realize relationships go much further than money. All right. I've been rich. I got a lot of friends in and out the industry. I've been poor. I'd rather have relationships, bro, because those is forever. So one day I might need Eli, and one day he might need me. So like I said, bro, I appreciate you. It's a blessing, man. And it's stay focused for life.
Same team. Thank you, bro. And that's what I always tell people too, is that I always try to tell you this, even every time that we, close our conversation, text messages, is if there's anything that I can do for you, even though that you don't need anything. But let's say if you were running late and you were like, hey man, will you just make a flyer real quick for this? I got you, bro. So thank you for tapping in. As always, YouTube and social media world, we appreciate you guys. Like I said, make sure you reach out to Chad for any kind of services, artist consultations, and we'll leave it at that. Peace out, Chad.
All right, man. Holla back, E. Take care, brother.
Yes, sir.
God bless.
God bless you.